One good move makes all the difference. The best way to predict future is to create it. Take a move. Create a future. Join Shobit University.
As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobit University. What about you?
One good move makes...
Should we start? Ma'am, sir, should we start?
Yes, please start.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. A very good afternoon to all. I, Ritu Sharma, Assistant Professor, School of Liberal Arts and Languages, welcome you all in today's session. As you all know that today School of Liberal Arts and Languages is organizing a webinar on Bhagavad Gita, Song of Life. Bhagavad means divine, Gita means poetry. The summary of Bhagavad Gita is, you came empty-handed, you will leave empty-handed. What is yours today belonged to someone else yesterday and will belong to someone else the day after tomorrow. It's my pleasure to open this session with Saraswati Vandana. या कुंदेन्दु तुषार हार्धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्राव्रता या वीणा वरदंड मंडित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृति देवे सदा वंदिता सा माम पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जाड्या पहा शुक्लाम ब्रह्म विचार सार परमाम आद्याम जगत व्यापिनी वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी भेदाम जाटिया अंधकारा पहाम हस्ते स्फटिक मालिकाम विदधतीम पद्मासने संस्थिताम वंदे ताम परमेश्वरीम भगवतीम बुद्धि प्रदाम शारदाम. May I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Ranjit Singh Sir, to share few words of wisdom with us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ritu. Good morning all, and a very good afternoon rather to Professor Praful Kumar Mishra. I am very happy to have him here with us, a renowned and eminent person, and he's speaking on a very relevant thing which is very relevant today, the Bhagavad Gita, Song of Life. I extend a formal welcome to you, sir. We are very happy at Shobit University family that you gave us your precious time to enlighten us on a very relevant topic that is on Bhagavad Gita. I extend a very formal welcome to you from our university, from top university management and all the viewers. Thank you very much for being there. And I am very much sure that this session will be quite enlightening and very useful and fruitful to all the viewers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for the encouragement. Now, I would like to request Dean School of Liberal Arts and Languages, Dr. Gunjan Agarwal ma'am, to welcome all the dignitaries, honorable speaker and participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritu. Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, respected Speaker, Professor Praful Kumar Mishra ji, my worthy colleagues and dear participants, good afternoon. This is my pride, privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to this platform on behalf of entire Shobit family. Shobit University has been ranked in top 22 technical universities in India, imparting quality education. As we all know, empowering nation through education is the vision of the university. School of Liberal Arts and Languages is offering UG and PG courses with PhD in English. Today, the world is facing so many problems, and one of them is we all are now in post-COVID phase. The school has taken the topic of life, a very vast topic, touching everybody's life, connected with a holy scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, revealing not only the mystery of this universe and human life, but also showing a path of karma to one and all. irrespective of their creed, caste, and color. This song of life unfolds enormous potential of human vision and sustains our faith with spiritual support. One can learn an art of life management, behavior skills, besides other soft skills necessary to make our life successful on various grounds. The Gita can be used as a clinical tool to treat psychological problems related to depression, anxiety, fear, and negative attitude towards life. When we read the shloka from chapter 4, we all are acquainted with this shlok. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharat, abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Paritranaye sadhu nam vinashaye च दुष्कृताम dharma संस्थापनार्थाय sambhavami yugi yugi. So we have such type of treasure of knowledge, and when we go through Bhagavad Gita, I am very much sure that nobody would take a wrong path. So that's why this is very important in our life. So without wasting much time, I would like to introduce our respected honorable speaker, Professor Praful Kumar Mishra ji. He is honorable chancellor at Rajendra Prasad Central Agricultural University and former vice chancellor at North Orissa University, Odisha. He has got more than 3 dozen awards. For example, Kaling Prajna Gaurava Samman for research and writing in literature by Swami Brahmananda Saraswati World Foundation, Bhubaneswara, 2019. He has got lifetime Shri Kshetra Sahitya Samman for contribution to Oriya literature by the same Sahitya Parishad in 2019. He has got another lifetime achievement award by Confederation of Indian Universities, Kolkata in 2017. One more lifetime achievement award by Akhil Bharatiya Vidwat Parishad, Varanasi, UP in 2015. Actually, the list is very long, so this is not easy for me to mention all these things. He has been a member of various organizations from 1991 to 2000. He was member of Official Language Committee, Law Department, Government of Odisha, 1998 to 2002, University Publication Committee. In 1998, Jayadeva Foundation Trust, Bhubaneswara. In 2000, he was a member in Award Judging Committee, UGC, and Spoken Sanskrit Committee, UGC. In 2002, Oriya Grammar Committee, Buddhist Study Committee, Oriya Vyakaran Committee at Utkal University of Culture. In 2016, he was a member of NAC Peer Visiting Committee to different universities. He has also been a part of various research committees, for example, PhD Regulation Committee in 2003, International Society for Yoga and Naturopathy in 2008, consultant at Jatin Das Center of Art, Bhubaneswara, etc. Mishra sir held various positions in different organizations and professional bodies. For example, since 2016, he has been founder president of Eastern Indian Oriental Conference, Bhubaneswar. Since 1979, he has been founder and secretary, Prachi Valley Cultural Academic and Historical Research Society, Puri. He was member, Lok Sabha Prachar Samiti, Orissa, member, Sanskrit Shiksha Mahasangh, Orissa, member, Sanskrit Sangeet Natak Academy, Orissa, president, Sanskrita Mahasangh, Orissa, vice chairman, Stop Diabetes Mission, Orissa, chairman and advisor of Ash Vidya Vikas Kendra National Seminar, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Bhubaneswara. Vice President, Association for All Odisha College Teachers in Sanskrit. He has supervised 28 PhDs, 18 in Sanskrit and 8 in Yoga and 2 in Oriya, and 50 MPhil candidates. He has got 8 reference books and 7 textbooks published in Oriya and English, 17 in creative writings in Sanskrit, and 3 books in creative writing in Oriya. Actually, he has translated, compiled, and edited 20 books in creative writing. He has a huge number of publications in English, Sanskrit, and Oriya. Actually, the list is very long, and it is impossible or quite difficult for me to mention all at this platform. Without taking much time, I would like to request Mishra sir to share his observation from his treasure of enormous knowledge. So Mishra sir, I request you to share your observation. Please, sir. Mishra sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
महीं मूलाधारे कमपि मणिपुरे हुतवहम् स्थिते स्वाधिष्ठाने हृदि मरुतमाकाशमुपरि मनोऽपि भ्रूमध्ये सकलमपि भित्त्वा कुलपथम् सहस्रारे पद्मे सहरसि पत्य विहरति नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. नमो नमः श्री गुरु. Esteemed Vice Chancellor Professor Gunjan Agrawal ji and the coordinator of the committee, Mrs. Gunjan Agrawal, Dr. Gunjan Agrawal, and the fellow colleague of the department, Mrs. Rita Sharma, and other participants, Dr. Ranjit, other participants, and many dignitaries of the Soviet University, and dear students and invited guests. It is a pleasure on my part to speak a few words on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Well, you have shown the picture of Mahatma Gandhi at the outset of this meeting. And I remind you that Mahatma Gandhi was telling, if all the text treasure of India, such as the Veda, the Upanishads, Ramayana, all the text, all the scriptures would be destroyed, and only one text could survive, that is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then it is enough to speak of the Indian wisdom. My dear friends, if you do not do anything but read Bhagavad Gita, you will get the treasury of knowledge with you. That's why it is said, Gita su Gita kartabhya kimanni shastra vistare jat swayam mukha padmanabhasya mukha padmad vinishrita. So Gita is such a text. It is the perennial source of all the philosophical systems, and not only that, it is a text which has, so to say, answer to all the questions of your life, all the questions of your anything regarding your life, regarding your many different aspects of your knowledge. Gita is there. It is not, I am not giving any hyperbolic statement. Well, I have experienced in my life, whenever there is any difficulty in your Shastra, in your theories, theoretical paradigms, you go to Gita, you will get it. And I am astonished always, as a student of Sanskrit literature, I found that how in these 700 slokas only, couplets, 700 only verses are there, and it addresses almost all the problems of your life. And you know, since it is written, it is told by Lord Krishna in the war field, in the Mahabharata war, So it is symbolic to say that in our life we are facing different wars. What is war? War of mind is a debate, to be or not to be, which Shakespeare says in a Hamlet. To be or not to be. To do the war, to do the battle, or not to do the battle. The dilemma always comes in the mind of the seeker, of a person, that what is to be done, what is my duty. We many times were at a loss to see on the crossroad of our life where to go, what to do. At that time, Bhagavad Gita will come to your rescue, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken to a human teacher by a divine, to a human pupil by a divine teacher. So quite naturally we can find that killing one's own kinsmen or not to do the heinous battle is always a challenge. Like the dilemma of Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark, whether to take revenge of his father's killer or to support his uncle and mother. So that is also, they are also very closely with kith and kin. But you have to see, you have to abide what he says. Well, Lord Krishna, my mind is jammed. I cannot say that I am completely competent enough to see this, because the divine teacher, there are three things in Gita which are spiritually significant: the divine personality of the teacher, the characteristic relations with the disciple, and the occasion of his teaching. The teacher is God himself descended into humanity, and the disciple is the first, as we might say in modern language, the representative of man of his age. So, man, when he comes across the God, at the same time, closest friend and chosen instrument of the avatar, he is the protagonist in an immense work and struggle, the secret purpose of which is unknown to the actors in it, known only to the incarnate Godhead who guides it all from behind the veil of his unfathomable mind of knowledge. The occasion to the violent crisis of the work and struggle at the moment when the anguish and the moral difficulty and the blind violence of its apparent moment forces itself with the shock of a visible revelation on the mind of its representative man, and raises the whole question of the meaning of a God in the world and a goal and drift and sense of human life and conduct. Well, interestingly, Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabha pruchami tang dharma samudha cheta. Well, now my heart is now, my mind is confused. I do not know. That's why Karpanya dosha. So Karpanya dosha means that I could not distinguish between my duties and my emotion. That's why, oh, well, Krishna, make me your disciple. Sishyasteham sadhiman tvam prapanna. Tvam prapannam. I am prostrating before you. I am taking refuge at your feet because you are the divine disciple. As a result of which I hope you will show me the right path. Sishyasteham. I become your disciple. Even though I am your friend, I am your relative, still you are my preceptor. Please teach me. That is the most important thing of Gita, where somebody surrenders before the divine, the God, he teaches. Another thing is that another thing is that we can say that whenever there is any difficulty in our, we many times are confused. Asotya anusocastvam pragyavadascha bhasase gatasu na gatasuscha nanu sochanti. The wise men don't think of the person who is killed, who is not killed, because they are all temporary. And very interesting sloka is there in Bhagavad Gita telling this, the temporariness, the transitoriness of our existence. What is that transitoriness? The transitoriness is abhyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata abhyaktani dhananyeva tatra ka parivedana. Oh, see, the whole world was unmanifested. It was not there. Natvam neme janadhipa. Neither you was there, nor I, nor these kings who are standing in the war field. So whenever there is any sorrow, you see that this is a middle situation. This is a middle situation. Neither we exist before, nor will exist after. Abhyaktadini bhutani. Nor these people, our friends, our foes, everybody, those who are creating trouble and those who are also entertaining us, both of them will pass away. Swami Shivananda once said, think always, even this will pass away. If bad time comes, bad time visits you, you say, oh, this will pass away. Nothing will be permanent. So Gita says, this is most important thing. Abhyaktadini madhyani. This is a madhya. Madhyani, vyakta madhyani. Abhyaktadini bhutani, vyakta madhyani bharata. Abhyaktani dhana neva tatra ka parivedana. Even that was not there. Like a pitcher. The existence of a pitcher or a ghata was not there. And after some time it will be broken. It is only in a transitory period this ghata exists. This world also, this country also, this human being also, the whole of this gamut of these stars and nebulas and this universe, they will all pass away. They will go away. So this is the most important thing. In our life we must think something happened. We must not be worried because this will pass away. Certainly. There is a story in Veda. Yami was crying because Jama was killed. Jama was dead. So Jami was crying. So gods asked her, well, why are you crying? Now Jami is no more, so I am in sorrow. I am crying. Jami is dead long ago. What long ago? Jama was killed today only because there was no night. So God said, because there is no night, this fellow says that today we are crying. Today he is dead. So night was created. And night digests everything. And we don't feel something has happened yesterday. Corona is happening today. And tomorrow it will be history. And we will forget everything. That this pandemic situation will no more be there, and people will say in the history, oh, there was a pandemic situation in 2020 and the whole world was involved in it. So that is the real teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And there he says, even it is universal. Universally, the whole universe in general, and myself and yourself in particular. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grunati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirna nyanyani sanjati navani. Even if we see, as we keep away, throw away our worn out clothes, similarly, we throw away our body and run away. We are not this body. So this is the most important art of living. When we live, we must think that this body is not enough, for which we think ourselves to the body, this 5 feet 10 inch, or this 5 feet 5 inch, and having 70 kilogram of weight of this body is this man. But no, not that. That is not the reality. Reality is something else. And that another thing is, Bhagavad Gita says, continuity of life. Because in Testament religion, in Old Testament, in New Testament, in Bible, in Quran, and all other texts of world religions, of Testament religions, nobody assures us of the next birth. Whereas Bhagavad Gita says, we have life together. Oh, this life is not to be considered in a piecemeal. This life is not only the end of life. Because that's why in our country there is no tragedy. There is no tragedy is not written in Sanskrit literature. Why? Why there is a tragedy in Greek literature? Why there is a Shakespearean tragedy? Why Sophoclean tragedy? What is there? Why there? Because they think this life to be enough. But we don't believe in it, because javat jananam tavat maranam tavat janani jatare sayanam. Shankaracharya says. So vasansi jiranani jatha vihaya. This is the most striking sloka, that we leave this body unnecessary, like torn out unnecessary cloth, and get another body. And thousands of life we have left behind, and we have again and again, we have lives to come. So this life is continuity. So we must think in that respect, so that the next life will be constructed accordingly. So, oh Arjuna, you are talking like a very Pandit, very learned man, but I think you are not a learned man, because you think this life to be everything. This life is nothing. And another is, आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवत् चैनम् अन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. So the personality, friends, now people are nowadays running for management, and management study, personality is very important aspect. Well, in Western models, there are so many authors written. These authors, there are so many books written for personality management. But what is the personality of Nachiketa, who faced Yama, the god of death? What is the personality of Dhruva? What is the personality of Prahlada? And all these three people are rebellions. They quarrel with their father. In ordinary life, what we say? Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. But Nachiketa said, well, you are giving away these cows, but they are all old. Why? To whom you are giving to me? Now I am giving you to death. So he proceeds to death. And there he proved his personality by gaining Agnichit Vidya and knowing the mystery of death. That is the personality. Our culture says the personality is the exaltation of yourself, which Swami Vivekananda says that education is the manifestation of the personality inside man. So we believe in manifestation. What is that manifestation? Manifestation of the self. And the self we know in Bhagavad Gita. And that self should be known. We do not know it. That's why when Lord Krishna says, well, Arjuna, I am teaching you this yoga which I have told it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku manave praha. And Ikshvaku told Manu. And Manu Ikshvakaves tada. Tada, all the kings were then educated on yoga. But it was destroyed in course of time. Then Arjuna asked, how it is possible that you told the knowledge of Gita, knowledge of yoga to Ikshvaku? Then he says, Krishna says, and what does he say? He says, Bahuni me vyatitani janamani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. Oh, destroyer of enemies, Arjuna, a great warrior. You do not know how many lives we had in the past. But I remember them, but you do not know it. So what does it mean? What does it signify this stanza? That we have lives together. We are running in the manifestation of God, in the development of this humanity. The human beings, they are coming in different paths to develop their soul, to find out their personality. That's why in Gita we know how personality is developed. Friends, you will be interested to know how management personality, you know Dale Carnegie model, no, so many models, very good salesman model, very good businessman model, but you do not know very good yogi model. A person who has completely faith on God, even he could not compromise with his father, his Dhruva, his Prahlada. Prahlada could say, yes, I know God is everywhere. Is it? Yes. That confidence brought Nrsimha to advent and kill his father, Hiranyakashipu, the demon. So this is the personality. For that it is said, Adhisthanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthagavidham vividhascha pruthag chesta daivam atra panchamam. So when you are doing some business, you know land, labor, capital, so many things are there. 4 things are there for, as we have read, land, labor, capital and organization. 4 things. So the entrepreneurship and the land, the place is your body. This body is your place. And who is the Karta? Karta is yourself, the soul. Adhisthanam tatha karta. What are the karanas? The instruments. Instruments, your 5 sensory organs and 5 motor organs and mind. They are your instruments, karanas. Vividhasya pruthaka chesta. So you are doing many types of, by that you are drawing your personality from Muladhara to Sahasrara. Vividhasya pruthak chesta. And these 4 land, labor, capital, organization are not enough. one more important thing is Daiva, the circumstances, the divine grace. Daiva mevatra panchamam. So Bhagavad Gita says, even if you are a very great entrepreneur, two brothers, Ambani brothers were two great entrepreneurs, but one is rising high and one is coming down. Why? Because Daiva mevatra panchamam. Circumstances, something happens. When one rises, petroleum rises, he rises. When it's down, it's down. So that is the God's divine will. So man is not enough to do everything. There is another will which is behind that. One must be connected. So it is said that the microcosm and the macrocosm, they need to be connected. That our individual and the universal, individual and the family and the state and the universe all need to be connected. Then only you will attain your godhood, inner personality. Best personality is he who attains the whole universe at the same time, his own self. That is the teaching of the Gita. And that's why it is said that you should know yourself properly. That is the whole business with Arjuna, that Arjuna you do not know. You do not know your potency. Man doesn't know his potency. Man is looking after many cricket players and their forefathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers. He doesn't know his own grandfather. He doesn't know his own self. Sri Aurobindo says in Savitri, very powerful language. He searches himself, from himself runs away. When he searches himself, we are not searching ourselves the whole of our life. Let us search the whole of our life. People are searching everything. They know all about the 27 generations of Sachin Tendulkar. But they don't know who is their grandfather and what is the great-grandfather of himself. What is his Gotra? What is his Sakha? Who are his forefathers? Because we do not know about ourselves. Even we do not know about our body properly. We do not know how many moles are there in our body. We do not know. If we see ourselves, he searches himself and from himself runs away. When he finds him, he thinks other than he. Because when I see my photo, my image in the mirror, and I am in doubt whether this fellow is P.K. Mishra, I do not know. Because we are very little concerned of ourselves. Bhagavad Gita says, let us know ourselves, know our potency. Our potential will enable us to do enormous things. We can do a lot, miracles. You see, Arjuna was the only fighter with God. And all other great warriors were there. But they are nothing. They are nothing before Arjuna, because he worked at the instruction of the God, the divine spirit, the truth. So truth, if you are supported by truth, you will win. Bhagavad Gita again says this. So sarvadharman paritajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma sucha. So you don't... another thing is there. I am telling you. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kuru nandana bahusakha hyanantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. What is Vyavasayatmika buddhi? You know the story of Mahabharata. It is all known to everybody. It is our good fortune that we have Mahabharata and Ramayana with us. No other country has such stories, such heritage. But our people care little to know them. When Dronacharya asked all the Pandavas and the Kauravas to see the bird on the tree and to aim at him, nobody could aim at the bullseye or the eyeball of that bird excepting Arjuna. That is Vyavasayatmika Vidhi. Vyavasayatmika Vidhi means determinate intellect. So determine one-pointedness. So that's why he say, Bahu Sakha Yanantascha. If you are doing everything, you say, I will do everything, you will do nothing. He who wants to satisfy all can satisfy none. If you try to satisfy the truth, you satisfy everybody. If you want to satisfy all, apparently, nobody will be satisfied. That's why pinpointedness, if the effort should be pinpointed, that is the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So that is the art of living, that is the living, way of living. So Gita speaks us, be pinpointed in your attitude so that you can win, you can get tremendous job, which you could not imagine even. So, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Rekeha Kurunandana, Bahu Sakha Yanantascha, Buddhayo Vyavasaya. Bahu Sakha. Those people have many distractions. The students, while doing their study, they should be pinpointed on their topics, their study. If they will distract themselves, they will not win. They will not win the race. Because nowadays people are always on the race of getting something. Again, I would like to draw some other points which is very interesting to you, that again and again we are, what is yoga? People says nowadays yoga is very popular term nowadays. But Bhagavad Gita says everything is yoga. Visad is also yoga. Why Visad is yoga? Visada cannot be, sorrow cannot be yoga. Who else in this world desire? Is there anybody who desires sorrow? No, but sorrow is also yoga. If there would not be anything sorrowful, if there would be nothing, no questioning, no dissatisfaction, Bhagavad Gita could not come to limelight. Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna could not speak Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. If Arjuna comes with Arjuna and starts shooting arrows, nothing will happen like this. Treasure would come only on Visada Yoga. Dissatisfaction, doubts. That's why Western philosophers say, cogito ergo sum. I doubt, therefore I am. This cogito ergo sum is most important for that. So if anybody has no doubt, he doesn't know. In Kenopanishad we find that if anybody says, oh, I know everything, he knows nothing. And he says, no, I am trying to understand a little bit. Then it is, oh, well, you know something. You are trying to know. So, Dharameva Janiyat is the word of Kenopanishad. So therefore, he says that you should doubt, you should question, should be dissatisfaction. Not a dissatisfaction of ordinary things, mundane things, but dissatisfaction, questioning for a greater things. Will like apple falling down, and he started questioning. Newton started questioning. Why apple fall down? I have the opportunity to see the handwriting of Newton in Oxford University, where he was teaching Oxford students. Anyway, so there he says, well, question. Yoga is not, nowadays people think yoga means some exercises. But yoga means to connect, connectivity. What connect? To connect our life. I am not one. I am not one being. I am not one person. In myself, there are so many things are there. My mind is a marketplace. My mind is thinking many things are there. Chanchalangi mana krishna pramathi balabadrudham tanyaham nigraham manne vayurana pisuduskara. The question of Arjuna. So Arjuna asked, so my mind is a marketplace. It runs wild many times. So how to control that? Many students will ask the teachers, well, I am very much disturbed. I could not concentrate on my study. How to do it? What will be the question of the teacher, the answer of the teachers? The answer is given there. He says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chakara. So abhyas, you have to make control over your senses, control your mind. This is abhyasa. And a very rigorous abhyas. It is very easy to play cricket. It is very easy to win a war, but very easy, very difficult to win your four-finger tongue. Four-finger tongue is there. This very small tongue, if anybody could cross it, win it, he'll be the world winner. But if Alexander was said by Thoreau, the great Buddhist saint whom he met, he said, you are coming to win the whole world. But when you go back, you turn your face, that the people are not with you. You can win the war, but can you win your tongue? So, my dear friends, Gita says that you make practice again and again, months, years together, to win your tongue. Test. Now we are very much in favor of testing many types of Western, Eastern food. And now very good, considerable amount of money is being flowing in the food craft industry. But they are very good for industry, but not good for the industry running in our belly, in our stomach. It is dangerous for us. We must know it. That's why God says, Bhagavad Gita says, what type of food to be taken? Do you believe that God has come? Krishna has come to tell Arjuna what type of food you will take. Rasa, snigdha, stira, hrudya, ahara, sattvika, priya. So sattvika foods are snigdha. It's very snigdha, stira, and hrudya. They are good for your stomach. And there should not be any tikhna, rukhya, that means mirch, too much of masala, too much of your spices, too much of garlic, too much of onion, all these things. They are all tamasika foods. They are all given in the Gunatraya Vibhaga. So what type of food should be taken and where to be taken? When you will take your food, you are taking food, junk foods. Why? That is denied in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says you have to take the food which is cooked within 45 minutes. Beyond 45 minutes, that food becomes poison. Don't take it. And you are cooking the food today and taking any other day, keeping them in the fridges, cooking them again and again. That means you are in tamasika, in tamas. You are in darkness. You are inviting darkness to your future. So God says, how to control your mind means your style of living must be changed. If your style of living, your attitude towards the world is not changed, that means your 5 organs, 5 sensory organs, 5 motor organs, your mind, then your vital being means prana. Your emotion is there. Your emotion is another personality. You must control them. Then beyond that emotion, the personality is there. Antahkarana is there. So mano, buddhi, ahankar, all these things should be unitedly come to a conclusion so that you can do better. And they will be connected to yourself. Again, self will be connected to the universal self. That is yoga. So for yoga, for physical harmony, you are doing yogasanas. All these things are said by Bhagavad Gita. For physical harmony, then mental harmony, then vital harmony, then your soul, your psychic being, all connected together with the universal harmony. Then only you are a yogi. Tasmat yoga karmashu kaushalam. If you know this yoga, concentrated effort is the real key to the right work. That's why yoga karmasu kaushalam. So when you do yoga, skill is that. You are one-pointed, concentrated, doing work. So if you are concentrated doing work, yoga karmasu kaushalam, then you must be a yogi. Tasma yogi bhava Arjuna. Why? Because samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam means what? It is all equanimity, harmony. If you made harmony, you could manage harmony in yourself. Then that will let your work easier. So to work, the work culture, you are working a lot, but nobody is satisfied. Why? Because you are not doing concentratedly. So tasma yogi bhavarjuna samatvam yoga uchyate yoga karmashu kausalam. Yoga, the real art of skill of work is yoga. So we are now harmonize our body, our mind, ourselves. And in that condition only, when we work, we don't expect any result, any praise. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhu. So once you are dedicated to the divine and you are concentratedly working and skillfully working, you go on working with vyavasayatmika buddhi, with a determinate intellect. Don't expect anything from anybody. That is the right attitude of work. You are born here to work. People say, why shall I? There are many people are there in our country, they don't work. Because they don't get the work to their choice. Always we should not expect that we will work our choice. Whatever work will come to us, we should do it perfectly as we can. So that's why now people are not working, because they are thinking that Lord Krishna says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokesu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam vartayevai karmani. The Bhagavan came here and became a cowherd boy. You see why Bhagavan must be telling that why I shall go to be a cowherd boy? I am the Lord of the universe. Why, sir? Because Bhagavan says, I have come to this world to work. Whatever work will come to me, I'll work. It is not a very big one or a small one. And I don't want to get anything from that work, because for me nothing is far away. Whatever I desire, I get it. Still I am working. Bharta eva hi karmani. Why? It is for the elders, Lord Krishna said. Jajjadaacharate srishta tattaddevettaro janaha sajat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Jayaprakash Narayan was doing total Kranti, Sampurna Kranti. There he was telling, Jajjadaacharate, if the Prime Minister, President, who are in the helm of affair, if they will do corruption, the peon will do corruption. That will come like Gangotri. Jayaprakash was telling, corruption is like Gangotri. If Gangotri is polluted, Ganga will automatically polluted. So Jajjada Acharate Srishta Tattad Devettaro Jana Sajat Pramanam Kurute. If he does a wrong, then what happens? Lokastadanu vartate. Now people are getting role model as a film actors, film actresses. They are doing different types of hairstyle, and immediately we find that the hairstyle is adopted. The cricket players are doing hairstyle, peculiar hairstyle, and that is immediately adopted because they are Srishta Purusha, considered to be Srishta Purusha. This is most unfortunate to our country that we don't take Rama or Krishna as our Srishta Purusha. We don't take Sri Aurobindo, Vivekananda, Gandhi as our Srishta Purusha. We are taking Srishta Purusha as cricket players, film stars. So, who is a Srishta Purusha? Apta Purusha. The person who has no desire, nothing to get, selfless, complete sacrifices for the divine. So when at the end of my talk I would like to summarize that we should take our role model to the truthful persons. And if truthful person is our role model, then we will get freedom. The real freedom is the person who is not under pressure of anything. We are under pressure of many things in our society. The person who is a freedom, who is a man, because Gita speaks freedom, where man expands and connects oneself with God, with the universe, the universal consciousness, the universal people, the people of the whole world, the people of our kinsmen, people of our locality. If we expand our personality, we will not be in sorrow, we will be in freedom. And wherever these type of consciousness there only we can see Tatra Sri Vijayam Dhruti, Jatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Jatra Partha Dhanuddhara, Tatra Sri Vijaya Dhruti Dhruvaniti Matir Mama. There is only victory. There is only Vijay, Dhruti, Dharya, and everything, all the perspectives are there. The perspective of life will follow if we follow the life of Gita as our role model of our lifestyle. Thank you all. Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Thank you so much, sir, for grace the session with your splendid talk and enlightening us. So many things you mentioned here about Gita, like do practice, do hard work, concentrate on your goal, and you win the war, can you win your tongue? This was the best thing. You were mentioning many shlokas in between of your speech. So all things was so much easy to understand for us. Thank you so much, sir. Now, before taking the questions from the participants, we have our registrar, sir, Dr. Mahipal Singh, sir, with us. I would like to request him to say a few words, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, unmute yourself. Yes.
Thank you, Ritu Sharma ji. Respected Praful Kumar Mishra sir, Dr. Gunjan Agarwal ma'am, Really, I was listening to Mishra sir throughout this entire webinar or conversation. Really, it was very useful, very fruitful. And one thing I would like to say, जैसे सर ने कहा कि वो जो गीता का उपदेश है, कर्म कर फल की इच्छा मत कर, सर ने इतने अच्छे तरह से समझाया कि भगवान भी जो यहाँ पे आया है उसके पास सारी चीजें हैं, उनको किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी वो हार्ड वर्क करते हैं। तो मेरा तो इसमें यही कहना है कि ये जो मैसेज है, सर का जो मैसेज है, रियली दैट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल, और ये हमें जो है और काम करने के लिए वो करेगा। और नए साल में सर का जो मैसेज है ये हमको मोटिवेट करेगा, इनकरेज करेगा। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच जो सर ने मैसेज दिया। मैं मानता हूँ कि सब इसको फॉलो करेंगे, सबको मानेंगे। थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir, being with us. So now I would like to take questions from the participants. The first question is, sir, people used to think that the Gita leads us to sannyas. What is your observation, sir? Please share with us.
Now, where it is said, Gita always speaks the right attitude to work. Sannyas doesn't here a person who was not willing to fight was provoked to fight. Then he said, Labdhosmi gata sandeha. Karisye vachanam to, well, Krishna, now I could know what is truth and what is not. That then I am now ready to fight. If this is the conclusion of Gita, then how can one say that this is leading to sannyasa? This is the right attitude of work, the right attitude of self.
You're right, sir. Next question is, sir, the Gita says life is nothing at some extent, but on the other hand, lays emphasis on karma. Please share your views about this.
Again, please repeat the question.
Okay, sir. The Gita says life is nothing at some extent, but on the other hand, lays emphasis on karma.
Yes, this life is a chain of lives and a chain of karma. So, if we don't do karma which is given to us, then we break the chain. And if we break the chain, we'll face the difficulty of our life. So, here, the karma is the very important thing, the attitude of karma. Attitude of karma is the karma which is given to us should be accomplished thoroughly, skillfully, without any expectation. If you don't expect and do going on work, you will get the right fruit of karma. Of course, in that attitude, one should not do anything. Rather, one should think of working perfectly, willfully, and skillfully so that he will get this more satisfaction and according to his self will be satisfied. Next
Yes.
question.
Okay, sir. Next question is, according to Gita, what are the characteristics of a leader?
According to Gita, what are the characteristics of a leader?
Yes, sir.
The other day I was speaking on Krishna as a leader in our university, Utkal University refresher course. Many people asked, Krishna is the real leader. Why? Krishnam Bande Jagad Guru. It is said Krishnam Bande. Why Krishna is a leader? A leader is a great motivator. He is a motivator. He motivates people. So he motivated Pandavas and motivated Arjuna to do the work. And he could motivate the cowherd people. If you go to his story, Krishna, who motivated the cowherd people, ordinary people, and faced Indra, who was doing great trouble for Gopa. Similarly, Krishna was leader because he killed Jarasandha and got 1,000 kings released from jail who were all joined him in Mahabharata war. Krishna also says a leader must have the attitude of Shresthatva so that he is working. He says, I have nothing to gain. Leader must not have his personal gains. A leader always should think of the general, the mass. Mass should be benefited, not me. You must be knowing a story that a monkey, the leader of the monkey, who was going because they were all the monkeys, the horde of monkeys were followed by certain difficulties. So they all were running to cross the water place. So the leader hold the branch and he told all his fellow men to cross over his back. And finally he drowned himself in the water because he could not cross and there was no strength with him. Like that, Lord Krishna also, what did he do? He was never a king. King was Ugrasena. Then king was his father, Vasudeva. He was only leading everything. That's why a leader doesn't desire any post, any position, any prestige. And he was always ridiculed in Bhagavad Gita.
Sir, unmute yourself.
So sorry to interrupt you. Mishra sir, please unmute, please.
Thank you. So, Sakheti matva prasabham jaduktam he Krishna he Jadava he Sakheti. So, ajanata mahimana tabedam maya prayuktam pranaye navapi. Well, Krishna, I was addressing you, hey Krishna, by your name, hey Jadava, hey Sakha, but I didn't know your grace. You are so much of glory and everything. So that's why, please excuse me. Krishna says, a leader is always available to everybody. He doesn't maintain distance from the people. So Gita shows how Krishna is always addressing Arjuna as Kaunteya. Oh, my son of my nephew. Oh, son of my nephew. Oh, son of Kunti. Oh, son of Kaurava. So always very intimately he addresses, very, so to say, intimately he addresses Arjuna. So the leader quality, which is explicitly said in Krishna, that how to convince a person and how to redress the sorrow of a person. These are the ways. A person who is not doing war. Why so many things were told? Because Krishna wanted to impress that his personality. So the leader should, like Birsa Munda, was the ordinary Adivasi. Munda was there in Jharkhand and Odisha border. There he was just ordinary Adivasi man, but he could convince all the people of Adivasis against the British rule. That's why similarly, Krishna was an ordinary cowherd boy from his beginning, but he gracefully rise before everything, and he could control the execute the war of Mahabharata by provoking, by convincing, by persuading Arjuna to the war.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for explaining in a easy way all the things. Well said, sir, that leader is not that person who only think of himself. A leader is available for everyone, every time. Now, at last, finally, I request Dean ma'am again for vote of thanks with these lines.
I'm
Yes,
interrupting
sir.
you. Ritu ma'am, actually
Yes.
there is one more question. If sir permits, then I would like to ask
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
ma'am.
ask,
one
ask.
participants and then I,
Ask any question you like.
yeah.
No problem.
Sir, one participant has asked, how can the lessons of Bhagavad Gita be taught to our children in their day-to-day life? How can be
Actually,
taught?
one should not teach. If you teach, nobody will listen to them. You tell them to read. Read again and again. Every day you read. Because Gita, one cannot know Gita in one day. My grandmother told me, Are your grandfather is every day reading Gita. You read it. I read it. I was in class 7 or 8 or class 9. I read all the slokas of Gita and could not understand anything. But gradually, my sir, my preceptor, he used to give me examples from Gita, one sloka from Gita every day, and I could remember it from only his mouth. That is my good fortune that God, my teacher could always speak on Gita sloka, and I had that opportunity to listen to once and remember it. I only remember from my guru's mouth, so to say, mouth. That's why that is during my school days and college days. So we should tell them, not to tell them, we should read together with them.
Right, sir.
We should read together with them so that they will read. And we should give some important slokas, one sloka every day. And if we don't practice, they will not follow. Very difficult to teach them Gita.
Right, sir. Otherwise, it's very difficult to cultivate this type of habit in our children. So, really, sir, such a nice, wonderful session. And, same is the case with me. I would like to share my experience. By the grace of God, I read Bhagavad Gita daily. And very interesting, very surprisingly. And today, when I think about Bhagavad Gita, I'm speechless. Still, I think I don't know anything about Gita. So what is the miracle? I really don't know.
The
What
same thing is
happened?
with me. What shall I tell? I was afraid to
Yeah.
tell you Gita because
Yeah.
Gita is not something when God doesn't permit, you cannot speak anything.
Yeah. So daily new interpretation emerges. A same line, same sentence I read daily, and next day I find a very different type of interpretation. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Now it's time to uh, give formal thanks. So gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Now it's my pleasure to express my gratitude to Honorable Mishra sir for giving an excellent coverage to the Bhagavad Gita Song of Life. I thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart for this superb, insightful, and useful session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I would like to thank our Honorable VC sir, respected Registrar sir, for their encouragement and guidance. You blessed the school with your presence, sir. Thank you. Thank you, all the participants, team members, especially our brilliant technical team. Thank you, Akhilesh ji. Thank you, Ritu ma'am, for your beautiful invocation of Goddess Saraswati. And at last, I would like to mention Sarve Bhavantu Sukhine, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadradi Pashyantu, Ma Karshit Bhag Bhavit. Thank you all for joining the third co-learning webinar series of School of Liberal Arts and Languages. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Namaskar. Thank you.